So this short film is called A Colourful Life, and it tells the story of a man who sort of finds his passion through photography and film. At the start, shots are blurred out, so we only see glimpses of pictures. The focus is on the range of colours, obviously, and that's how he blends it in with these blurred shots that whiz across the screen. This is done well to only reveal certain bits of information.
That shook my world. It was a more epic level than anything in my imagination could have thought of, and I wanted to see it again. My mom said, well, you can only do that in the movies.
What you would have just heard was how when he was younger, obviously there was an earthquake in San Francisco, and I like how they combine the sound effect obviously with him telling the story, and that's a common theme throughout this short film documentary. He does use that quite often. The general layout of this film is just him talking about his past while they sort of film pictures, and it flicks between each one, like quite fast cuts and everything. It's sort of, I think it's done to make it seem like more of a film, if you know what I mean. Like if they're just filming pictures, you would see that, but the way he cuts it fast makes it feel like a film and not you just browsing through these pictures.
My family had a really hard time, and then they lost their jobs. Eventually drugs and alcohol and violence came into the picture, and they weren't able to take care of us anymore. It was like our lifeboat, our family.
The music changes in the background now as the story becomes darker, as he talks about when he becomes homeless, obviously, and then he later contemplated suicide.
Everything in my life was about survival at that point. I mean, I had so many different places that I slept that were just completely degraded.
I really like how he made the degrading places that he stayed in look really beautiful, and that was down obviously to the photography and the filming. But it's like how the light sort of peers through some of the trees and like through the buildings and things is really beautifully shot. It makes this sort of horrible place look interesting in some way.
Because oh God, it's really real still for me, you know. But my grandparents, after a year, they discovered that we were homeless, and they bought us a house. The damage was already done, and I was completely shut in and inferior to everyone.
He also talks about short stories that he used to write. Obviously, he used to write quite a lot to distract himself from how he was feeling, and I really like how they animate the words on the page for this section of the short film.
I just felt this little burning desire inside of me to create. I kept having to create something. It made me happy. It made me energized. It kept me alive. And then I just got obsessed with movies. And I watched movies over and over again, all different kinds of films. Oh my God, this is what I want to do. I want to make visual art.
Also, you'll see now with the hammer, it comes crashing down these cars, and it's another term of like him using the sound effects effectively to make it seem more real, and it's toy cars getting smashed, but he used proper car crash sound effects. He also uses in this section a lot of fast cuts and blurs, and it does give the impression of speed, obviously, from the cars crashing and things like that. It makes it feel more real than him just playing with his toy cars and, you know, making these funny little videos.
I just made all these different little videos. No one could hurt me through that lens. I would film everything and I would compile it into one piece, and not as a montage but as a single emotion. And that's how I sort of saw the world. Even the most mundane thing of like a woman fixing her dress. This was the beginning of all the social media that was going on, like Vimeo and Facebook. It was the beginning of that era, and I decided to post a video online. And then before I knew it, thousands of people were writing, commenting, encouraging me, saying all these amazing, just heartwarming, great things about my work. It gave me a lot more confidence, and it made me feel connected to the world. It felt like they were a part of this journey with me. Then I started doing new projects in Europe and Africa and Asia.
The fast cuts between the different beautiful locations is something I'd like to attempt if we ever did or stuck with this sort of documentary style. It's just that he cuts between a load of these different places. Like you go from like the ice caps to like some wild like forests with beautiful blue skies, and it's things like that that have really like done well, and the cuts between it just shows you how much he's obviously gone and seen and done in his life, and that's something that's really interesting to me, and I think that would be a really good technique to use for our documentary. The journey then is fully complete at the end when he achieved what he wanted to, and his whole time all he wanted to do was obviously travel the world and take pictures and film and show, you know, express himself through that. And it's just not like a common theme obviously with these short films is that it progresses, there's a story there, and he obviously grows from when he was a little kid wanting to do it, and he's sort of achieved his dream. But that is obviously a convention that we will always see in a documentary short film, is this journey and this progression of a character's, you know, well, not a character technically, it's a real person, isn't it? So it makes it seem more real, but then you see them progress and obviously achieve what they want to achieve, and that's all very important to the whole documentary aspect. And that's it for my analysis of A Colourful Life. Thank you for watching.